Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews. We are under a trellis of Chinook hops right now, sitting on the front porch enjoying myself. I know the light isn't probably the greatest at this angle because the light is behind me, but that's fine. I think you can see just fine for what we're doing today. So I saw this reviewed on, I believe, Kyle's channel, No Hype Beer Reviews. And this looked very interesting. The whole enchilada, triple IPA. They also have a half enchilada where literally half the label is removed, but you can still read half enchilada. I didn't pick that one up, but I went to the beverage station in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania in order to seek this one out, because usually they have a pretty good selection of EverGrain Brewing Company's beers. So I went into the EverGrain section, boom, immediately saw it, boom, now I have it. This is a triple IPA. I keep saying triple, why did I do that? Oh, because I'm going to do a Belgian review with Thomas here coming up, and that's why. Triple India Pale Ale, tropical, fruity, low bitterness. See, tropical's nice, fruity's nice. I want a high bitterness. That's what I want. But it's just so hard anymore with beers. 11.2 alcohol by volume is freaking awesome. It's pretty early. There's no reason why I can't enjoy a beer on a Saturday. Got nothing to do for a few hours, so I'm pretty happy about that. Just relax around the house, maxing out cool, shooting some bebop outside of the school. That kind of thing. So, and of course, they're from the Camp Hill area of Pennsylvania. There is a ton of brewing companies in the Mechanicsburg, Camp Hill area. Also a German restaurant called Josie's, which is definitely worth checking out as well. They also have a little tiny grocery store attached to it, much like the Alpine Wurst House does up in Honesdale in northeastern Pennsylvania. So, anywho, enough jibber jabbering. Let's get this one cracked open to glass and see what we got going on with the whole enchilada. Alright. Very interesting artwork. Weird. Hey, Fago. The cat has arrived. There it is. Okay, nice haze on this one. Very standard look to it, orange haze. Looks much like a hazy IPA. It actually reminds me a lot of what the triples from the triples. Triple, I said it wrong again. Triples from Nutrail look like. So here we go. Cheers. That's Fago the cat. Looks a lot like Twilight did, which maybe that's why I'm drawn to letting it be nice to me. So this has it's got like a little bit of an overripened pineapple peach kind of vibe. Pineapple, peach, nectarine, mango. I am pulling some grapefruit and stuff out of there as well. But yeah, super tropical. There's about a little bit of a torrefied wheat kind of oat tonality kind of wafting through here, breadiness. But very pungent, overripened fruit tonalities. Again, like that kind of nectarine, mango, overripened pineapple vibes. Maybe lychee. Yeah, it's very fruit forward. So let's get into it. Cheers, as we expect with these beers anymore. I do find we've said this before. Other people have said this before. Anyway, you almost reviewing the same beer over and over again because they're so similar, and the nuances are so subtly changed. It's a bit thin. Wow. That was actually kind of boring. Let's get back into this. Wow. Dangerous beer. Dangerous beer. Bready. Well, I mean, that was like a cereal grain sweetness that came out of the back end. That's odd. Right in the back end of the palate. Cereal grain sweetness kind of came out of this beer. Did not expect that. That one threw me for a loop. However, this is going to sound damning almost. It drinks like a pale ale, like a hazy pale ale, like a nice juice, like what I would consider a 5% hazy, a nice with a like imagine a hazy, like a really like a pale ale / hazy IPA, but with a very what would you consider like, wow, this is a really nice body to this low ABV beer. That's what this reminds me of what I would be like impressed with the body for a low ABV beer. That's what this has, except it's a high ABV beer, so I'm not impressed with the body, and it's a little lackluster on the flavor, and it goes down like a drop. I'll go, oh, there it is. All right. And the cereal grain sweetness on the back end was a little kind of surprising as well. Definitely not as bombastic as the nose. The taste, mango, like a mango papaya thing, fleshiness, sweetness, a little bit of breadiness, oat, a little bit of that kind of oat mustiness in there as well. Goes down, zero bitterness, little bit of a starburst type piffiness in the back end of the palate. A little bit of a grapefruit tangerine vibe mixing in with those fleshy kind of mango papaya. The back of the palate is when you get a little bit more of that over-ripened pineapple mixing in with that kind of that little earthy peppery bitterness in the back of the palate. Very low, very subtle. So it's 11.2. It drinks like it's 5.56. The flavors are a little bit lackluster overall compared to the aromas. And the body to me is a bit thin. It's on that medium side of a medium body, tapering to the high side of a medium body. There's not a lot of oiliness to this beer to like let a lot of those flavors sit on your palate and dance around and get bigger and more piffy. You know what I mean? It kind of just drops right down. I'm a little sad about it. It's a good beer. It is a good beer. It is a good beer. I'm just it's not an amazing beer. You know what I mean? And that's what you kind of want from these. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I need to be blown away. Uh-oh, traffic time. I thought we were gonna get away with this one without rush hour, but wow, there goes again. I'm facing this way today, so that's the road over there. But I got oil down, so there's no dust anymore. So we're good. So the whole enchilada is extremely easy drinking, an extremely nice ABV, and I would say fruity. I would say definitely not the cacophony of fruit that shouted at me when I was first taking some aromas, but burp's nice. Little star fruit on the burp there. I thought it was going to be cucumber at first, but it's more like star fruity on the burp, which is cool. That bee is extremely excited about that can. Fuck off, bee. It looked more like a yellow jacket. I'm not fucking with you. Take the can. I don't care. Yeah. The fruits that are in here, it gives you that kind of like musty peach, mango, papaya kind of thing in there, like a darker, fleshy, overripened fruit. It's a darker beer almost. I hate to say that because it's a bright, triple IPA, hazy, and this, but it has a more fleshy, darker fruit in there, so it kind of brings the beer down. It's not shouty and happy and vibrant and dancing and stuff. It's more like, I'm dying, drink me, that kind of thing. This is a beer that I find a little bit of a letdown. This is a beer, by the taste that I see now, to be perfectly honest, this is a beer I go to after I drank all the other beers, and I just want to keep drinking. So okay, I'll grab. I got one of these still left in the fridge. I'll go grab it. I see this. I see the future of this 3-pack being one of the doing that. Like, oh yeah, that's still in there. I'll just drink that. It's one of those kind of beers. Unfortunately, I'd like to say better things about it, but for when I'm getting out of this can, it was like, wow, that's a little bit of a letdown. For me personally, anyway, the way I take it, I'm a little bit let down by this beer. I find New Trail's triples to be much more enjoyable than this beer. And I'm not trying to be a New Trail fanboy on this one. I'm just saying the triples I've had from New Trail have been a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more amped, and as far as flavor goes and like brightness goes and stuff like that, than this more dark broody triple stop it beer. Yeah, so there you go. You know, and hey, can we just make beer taste like beer again? Almost like, let's not, you know. Can they make a triple West Coast? What's that? What? Why not? Huh, guys? Let's do that. Like EverGrain, make a triple West Coast IPA and pine the fuck out of it, and have some nice nuance of toasted caramel or burnt caramel and toasted bread mixed in there with all that nice oily juiciness. And then have some bold, bright, shouty tangerine, a little bit of grapefruit piffiness in there, a parfum almost from the Simcoe. Put a little cat piss in there with the Simcoe. Who cares? Make a beer that is reminiscent to what we used to drink 10 years ago. It's just not all this haze for days, unclear for years, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I had to get it. I had to try it. It's a triple IPA. They are rare for me in this area, and when I can get them, I always enjoy drinking them and reviewing them. Sometimes I enjoy reviewing them more than I do in drinking them, but that's the whole review process. You don't know what you're going to get until you drink it. So, yeah. So, I'm not a huge fan of certain fruits, especially like peach, for example. So, when they're in there, like, I don't like pineapple, I don't like peach. Not gonna hate on them. I have had beers that have pineapple and peach in them that I did enjoy. This one has a lot of that in them, and I'm not deterring my score because I don't like those fruits. I'm just letting you know my approach and how I'm taking this beer as first sip for sip. So I'm gonna rate it regardless if there's peach and pineapple in it. That doesn't make it a bad beer. So my whole thing with this beer that I've actually had now, that it comes across a little lackluster for sure, in the flavor compounds, in the body, in the oiliness, those kind of things. Needs to be, for me, it's not a bad beer. It isn't a bad beer. And I say that a lot with these beers. Like, I'll review it as harshly and as objectively as I can, but I'm trying to be, people like, there's a lot of channels are like, oh my god, even when they're having like bad times drinking it or this is all positive. No, I'm being truthful. I'm being honest. I'm being, you just shut your happy, everything's great, I'm drinking a beer. Oh, watch me drink a beer. Fuck you, YouTube. No. This is what I'm having. I don't like it very much. It doesn't mean it's a bad beer, but this is my experience. You might actually drink this and really like it, but I want to let you know what I'm experiencing. So this whole enchilada, which I've never had an enchilada before. I don't like that kind of stuff. Triple IPA. There you go. I'm going to give this one, I will call this a solid beer. I'm going to call this a 7.5 out of 10 solid beer. It's been Paul for PABrewNews. Cheers. Bye-bye. Watch that finger.